Guys, this is Morgan. Look how beautiful she is.
I'm really excited to finally do something new. First time in 7 years.
Amazing. So we cannot wait to see your wig.
I'm so excited.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm born ready.
Already, we're not going to have where to clip it, you know? So we're going to give it the bend. The bend is very easy to put on. And it's just going to make sure that the wig is going to stay on the place. Good. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Oh my god, but I can't wait.
Fix it. Oh, I see that they put for you some silicone pieces that it's not going to slide.
Well,
That's
because
great.
with this, if I like move my head back.
Right. So maybe you're not going to need this, but let's try.
Let's see. It's like
I have to
Princess
say that we did
Diaries.
it from home. Like it was a Dini from home process. We took her mold, we took the measurement, we took everything. And now, you're not opening it. And now it's the first time that she's going to see it. And the fit is amazing.
I have a really small head. There's the issue.
So we took measurement, we did for the scan, the 3D, and now it's ready for you.
Should I open my eyes now?
Yeah, open it.
Oh! Do I really look like this right now? Wow.
This is you. Play with this a little bit.
Oh my god, it's cut exactly how I wanted. Oh my god, it's gorgeous.
So she pre-cut it for you a little bit.
Look! My hair's not even this thick in real life. Don't tell anybody. They don't have to know the truth. Wow.
No one can guess that it's a wig.
No.
It's like it's coming out of her.
It is. Honestly.
And you just need to learn like a little bit to play with this. Soon Shira is gonna cut your lace and you're not gonna have this material.
I mean, even with that's the best part though, is even with the lace, like, because they would send it to me, I'm living in New York City, and then we'd go back and forth sending it, and when it was pre-cut, I think I have a really tiny head, so they had to make it really small for me, but even before all of those things, I would look in the mirror with the lace like down to here, before it was cut, and I was like, I'm like, I would buy it like this. I don't know what more we could possibly do. So every time they would change it and send it back, I was like, how is it even possible that it got better?
I hear that.
It just got better and better, and now it just is my actual hair.
It fits you like a glove. It's amazing.
It does.
Tehila took care of it? Tehila?
Thank you. You're the best.
So we're just gonna
fix the baby
No,
hairs.
we're gonna cut the baby hair you have enough.
Okay.
We're gonna cut the lace, but I want you to know that like you need to learn how to use this baby to smoosh them a little bit. As much as you're gonna play with them, it's gonna hold more like off your
natural.
face.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Now we blow it very.
No, it's perfect. I don't even want to ever touch it again.
Layered, sheer blow it.
I'm never gonna touch it.
You always can blow it. You always can wash it by yourself and smudge it.
Yeah.
Just take a
No, but
shower
why?
with this.
I just love it like this though. I want to preserve this. It's like the perfect blow. I feel like I had the Dyson Airwrap, you know what it is, which I don't actually own, so I'm gonna like try to hold on to this look for as long as possible.
So pretty. Stand up.
Maybe I should get the Dyson Airwrap. If you would like to consider.
So good. Wow.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you guys. A really small head. They're massive on me, and they would punch in the back. God forbid I like turn my head. It'd be a mile away. I could never find it again. It's windy. Forget it. I'm not leaving my house. And I would put these giant wigs on, and then just put a baseball cap on it. And before I left, I was like, "Please work, really, please work." And right now, even with just like that was glued down too.
This you can dance, you can jump, you can do everything. It's not gonna
move, which is
move.
really scary.
It's
But I'm
not
gonna do
gonna
whatever I
move.
want now. I'll flip her head. No, I'm scared because the other one's gonna be like.
No. It's not gonna fall. I
didn't
promise
realize
you.
that like before meeting with you guys and speaking with you guys, I had no idea what went into it. I thought you just like go to a store,
Find a piece and go
like this,
out.
and I'm just like, oh, I love that cut and color. How much is it? Bring it home, throw it on. And then when I got home, I was like, there's no way people who wear wigs are going through this because this sucks. And I know that people wear them their whole lives, and I was like, this is terrible. I don't want to do this every single day and gluing it down. The first time I ever did it, I didn't do a wig cap. I glued it down and took it off. Wax finish. Oh, I was like, okay, well, if the cancer didn't get rid of my hair, this definitely did. So it was, yeah, and I was just like, is there something I don't know? Like, why do so many people wear wigs all the time and don't complain about how awful it is? Then I obviously realized after talking to you guys that it's not supposed to be like that, and not everyone struggles constantly.
So good.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait to like throw
Okay,
away
sure,
my
let's
old
cut
wigs.
it.
I'm gonna throw them away. It's gonna be a ritual. We'll take them away. Because I do not have the patience to grow my normal hair out like this. Like I even
Why? Did you need to take care of your hair a lot, like washing it?
No,
like...
I'm just lazy.
Okay.
And I just really like waking up and rolling out of bed. We have 2 puppies, midday walks first thing in the morning, so I like to just roll out of bed and be able to just go without looking insane.
Pretty.
Yeah. So I've always put my hair short just for the convenience, and I'm also too lazy to grow it out.
Ta-da!
Here she is.
Sick.
Oh my goodness. This is what I would look like
This
if I
is
had
just
patience.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna keep on wearing this even once. Like, I mean, I'm done with cleaning now, but it's gonna take a while before my hair completely grows back. But I'm not gonna grow it past this. I do not have the patience, so I'm gonna wear this forever.
So beautiful.
I'm gonna just like one night go to dinner, be like, I wanna change it up a bit. He's gonna think it's my outfit. I'm gonna be like, nope, it's the wig. Like, it's a whole new day.
You look awesome.
Oh, this lighting is amazing.
Let's start with, what was your relationship like with your hair?
Before I was diagnosed, I had this same haircut for 5 years. It was just like a short little bob, like the front part came down to my chin, and the back was kind of stacked and cute, and it was so easy. I shaved my head actually my freshman year of college just for fun. So after that, I kind of never grew it out again. Like, I just found that spot and I liked it and I stayed. The summer before I was diagnosed, my friends and I had a couple glasses of wine, and I don't know, one thing led to another. Next thing, I'm like, they're like helping me cut my hair. Cause it was so short and easy, I would cut it myself all the time. But like on wine night, with a bunch of all my friends, like having their own opinions about how it should be done, by the end of it, I looked scary. I actually went to 2 salons and tried to have them fix it. And I also actually bought a wig, like quickly, to wear. Like, the haircut was so bad that I wanted to wear a wig, but it only lasted like a week because it was ill-fitting and uncomfortable and just not worth it. Like, the haircut was really bad, like not that bad where I need to be wearing like this uncomfortable wig all day. So yeah, it was a really bad haircut, which is why I think I wasn't that upset when my hair started falling out because of chemo. It's not like I had hair like this. Like this, I could see processing that and coping with that could be like really intense because of like how long the hair is and just how important it is, whereas mine was like an awful haircut that I hated myself for getting or doing to myself. So I was like, yeah, I'm not really that sad to see it go. It was pretty bad to begin with. But I totally understand people who go through that. My hair was like this, I would definitely be a lot less like cool with it, you know? When it was time to get a wig, I was like, I could get a wig that looked exactly like my old hair and it would be easy because it's short or whatever, but I have a feeling I'll never have the patience to grow my hair out like this. And I always admire, like, all of my like celebrity favorites all have this hair, so I was like, why not use this as an opportunity to play around a bit and get the hair that I've always wanted, but I know I never have the patience to have. So that's why I went for this look. And I know a lot of people that I've met at the clinic who were going through the same thing as me, and they were getting wigs that were custom made, tailored to look exactly like their old hair. Like, they would bring in a bunch of photos of them and do like dye tests, and they actually, someone I know, like when their hair is falling out, they saved some for the color. Like, it was really intense, and I completely understand why you want to take every measure possible to feel like your old self again. But like I said, my old self was not the best look, so I just was like, yeah, let's have some fun and let's do all the things that I probably won't ever be able to do on my own.
So how did your hair loss journey begin?
So after my first round of chemo, I was told that I had 2 to 3 weeks before all my hair started falling out. It actually started happening like a week later, so soon. It was really, I don't know, it was really not scary, because I never really felt scared, but I was really surprised by how quickly. I thought it was a very gradual process, but it actually started happening very quickly and all at once, all of my body hair too. And so when I realized it was starting to fall out, I'm really type A and a clean freak and all those things. So when I was taking a shower and it first started coming out, immediately it took like an hour to shower because it could, like, no matter how much you brush through it, it would keep on falling, and then it got stuck to your body, and then drying off was a whole different, it was just a nightmare. I still had enough hair where you wouldn't tell that it was shedding, but I was just like, I don't have the patience or bandwidth or the patience to do that every day when I shower. There used to be a salon directly under my apartment, so that morning when I went to go walk my dog, I just like ran in quickly, and they weren't even open. They had closed because they moved locations, and they were closed. And I was like, please let me in, I have cancer. They're like, we're not open. I was like, but I have cancer, please. And so they're not even open yet, and I'm just like sitting there alone with the owner, and I had her shave my head like really, really short right then and there, just so that I wouldn't have to deal with clumps of hair all over my apartment and in my clothes and in my bed, in the shower drain. It was just too much for me to handle.
We actually tell people to do that.
Yeah, it's just, and I think also if it's gonna be like a very traumatizing experience for you, maybe shaving it first so that you don't have to see what's happening might like make it easier to go through.
We find that when you're letting your hair fall out, it's just every time you have to deal with it again. Like whenever you put your hand through your hair,
Yeah.
it's falling out.
Or I just didn't want to be like out and having to deal with that. It's not like at the beginning of treatment I was feeling amazing still. I was actually shocked for the first couple of months of treatment how I was like, is this a conspiracy theory? I thought I'm supposed to feel like death, and instead I was still going out with my friends, I was still getting all dressed up. I jinxed it bad and it hit me hard. But yeah, in the beginning I was still going out and stuff with my friends, and I didn't want to be out in public dealing with clumps of hair. So I just shaved it pretty much right. Once I realized it started falling out, I went right downstairs, buzzed it, went on my day. And then a couple days later I went to a wig store, just like a beauty store, to get a couple wigs. And again, it was like, besides the one time that I got a wig installed for me, this was my first time like shopping for a wig. And I think the saleswoman knew that, because I walked out with like $600 worth of stuff, and that includes like 3 wigs, extensions, all the, and for them like to not fit, to be actually like really bad looking. And I found out also the extensions, like she told me, I was like, oh, this wig is a little thin. Can I do anything about that? Or do you have it in like a thicker, whatever, this version of it but thicker? And she would like offered that I could buy these extensions, which are like super expensive. And I went to 3 different people, and the type of wig it was, you couldn't sew extensions into it. So that was a learning curve right then and there. I never bought my own wig again after that, so it's pretty telling.
So what do you feel like the difference is between this wig and those
Oh my
wigs?
god. Well, first of all, the difference between this wig and the wigs I had bought at a beauty supply store is day and night. It is day and night. I mean, when I first started wearing those wigs, I was really worried. I was like, do people wear wigs like this every day? Like, is this what they're really dealing with? Because it was just, first of all, like so big, because I have a really hanging peanut head, and they don't even make wigs that are sold kind of at a store like that as small as I need it. Like, it has to be custom fit to my head because the average size is like really big on me. So right off the bat I was noticing like just bulging, I guess you could say it is, or just, it was just bulging because it was too big, so there would just be like air bubbles where you could push down, you know? And also the density was probably like this. I paid a lot of money and it was still just like this. And even though some of them were human hair, I could only really wear them a couple of times before, I don't know why. I mean, I guess it's the quality of the human hair differs, but I thought if it was human hair and it's just human hair, you can wash it like you would normal hair and you can style it, and yeah, it didn't last very long, honestly.
So there's like quality of hair, but there's also processed and non-processed. So our wigs are like all virgin, so that means they're non-processed. That means it's not like that hair put through a machine to make it look pretty.
Got it. That's probably what I was dealing with.
Yeah, and then it like fades after like a wash or something like that.
No, I washed them once after a couple wears, and ever since I washed them, they like never went back to their old self. So yeah, I just was like, I'm so done with this. I don't know how to make this work. And you know, when I was going through treatment, I just didn't want to try to make things work that weren't working. Like, I think in my best day, I'd be really down for the DIY project and be like, this is fun, like I can make this work. No, not in that time of my life. I was like unwilling to deal with it. It was just so thin. Also, you would see if I like move my hair a certain way. Like I can part this like this, and I can do whatever and feel confident that it still looks really natural. But the ones from the beauty supply store, all night or all day, I have to ask my friends, like, can you see the tracks? Can you see the tracks? Or like, I put my hair up and then be like, can you, like, does it look like a wig? I couldn't really do any updos, one, because the density was so small, like low, and also because pretty much no matter where I would move it, if it wasn't just straight down, you would see, you know, my skin poking, because I'm bald under this, so my skin would be poking through, or you would see like the lines, the tracks. So it was, yeah, pretty rough. I just wanted to be able to wake up every day, and like my old hairstyle when it was short was just so easy. I was like a roll out of bed kind of girl. You know, maybe if I'm feeling up for it, a couple of things of mascara, or if I'm really bored, do a little eyeliner wing. But like I really, with my lifestyle, I have to wake up and first thing walk the dogs and do like, also I'm always starving first thing in the morning. There's just like a lot of things I want to do in the morning, and I don't want to have to deal with, if I had the old wigs, putting it on and like restyling it every single day and dealing with making it look real every single day. It just takes too much time, and I want to be able to roll out of bed and kind of walk my dog really quickly before I get my day started. And with this wig, I can do that. Like I can just wake up and either, if it's not taped down yet, I can just throw it on with the band, with the velvet band, and like do a couple errands and not be worried about how it looks. Or if I tape it down, I can sleep with it, and then, you know, like a silk wrap thingy, and then just wake up the next day, and it's like, it's the beauty of being able to roll out of bed, but with with a wig, which I really value. I really value not having to put work in.
I love that you sleep with it. That's a first.
Yeah. Really? So I learned to like wrap it with a silk wrap to keep the front down and like all the glue or tape or whatever in place, and then I just put it in like a protective hairstyle and put it in like a silk little turban bonnet thing and sleep. I mean, I also sleep, my boyfriend always makes fun of me that I sleep like this, or he says sometimes I'll sleep with my arms behind my back like I'm laying on a beach or something. Like usually I'll just sleep like, so I don't move throughout the night, so I think that's really helpful. Also, I've had for years now silk pillow clip cases, which if you're gonna do that, I mean, even if you don't have a wig, silk pillow cases, okay? Not sponsored, but so if I'm like too lazy or got home late and I don't want to deal with doing all of this stuff, at least like at the end of the day I have a silk pillowcase, so it's like not snagging or creating friction for my hair to break or get messed up or frizzy. It's so good for your hair and skin, and yeah, definitely highly recommend. But I do silk pillowcase plus silk turban plus tying on the front, and yeah.
What was like the reaction to this wig? Like, what were your friends and your family?
Okay, well, all of my friends, I've been giving them updates along the way, so every time you guys would send me a wig, I would obviously take a million pictures of myself, even though it wasn't ready. Like, and that's the crazy part, is that from the sample, like I would throw it on and it was just a sample, and still, my friends are like, unbelievable. I was like, no, it's not even done yet. Like, if you think it's unbelievable now, just wait. It gets better somehow, which was mind-blowing to me, because I would get the sample and be like, how does it even improve from here? Like, it's perfection already. And then now that I wear the one that is like more fitted to my head and cut the way I want it and styled and the color, I'm just like, that's how it got better. But it still is hard to believe that the samples were like that good and like totally viable on their own. So yeah, when it got customized more, I was like, this is magic, or this is something happening right now, because I can't believe my eyes. Oh, so the reaction, all of my friends, obviously, from the second I put it on, through all of those stages, were completely here for it. This is like an iconic moment, freaking out, and I was just like, I know, this is crazy. And I was like, damn, like you guys didn't even hype me up like this when I had my, like before cancer, and now all of a sudden, yeah, so pretty nuts. Also, they only know the wigs that I've had in the past, which they were like super supportive and being like, you know, hyping me up. But I think it was because, I mean, because now in hindsight, they're all like, oh, those other wigs were so bad. I'm like, oh, now you tell me. Because in the moment, when we getting ready to, you know, go out, they'd be like, I was like, does it look okay with with the beauty supply wigs? I'd be like, do I look okay? Like, I feel like it looks really bad. And they're like, no, you look amazing. Now, looking back when they see this one, they're like, those other wigs were really bad. news to me. So they were just being really nice, I think, because they knew that I was adjusting to being bald now. But now that I have this wig, like the whole truth is coming out. They're giving me confessions. Like, yeah, the other wigs are really bad, but this is amazing. So, I mean, I'm just happy that it looks amazing now. So, we can forget. The past is in the past.
Yeah, it's fine. You anyways, like, weren't feeling well then. Like, now, I feel like now it makes sense that you have your wig now because, like, now you're getting back to life.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, for the last couple months of treatment, I was wearing beanies nonstop or sweatshirts nonstop just because I was only going from here to the hospital and back. I was in isolation because of COVID and also because my immune system was like really messed up. So I just was in isolation. So the only time I'd ever leave was to either walk my dog or go to the hospital, and that meant like a sweatshirt with a hood or beanies, and that's it. So if I got the wig then, I think it would have been kind of like anticlimactic almost. I wouldn't really be in a position to like really enjoy it and appreciate it the way I am now because I'm starting to transition back into normalcy, whatever that means. And yeah, I'm glad that I it was at the very end, I'm glad I waited because it kind of was like the thing that marked a new chapter in my life, you know? And I think if I had it the whole time I was doing chemo, not only would I be too exhausted to like even deal with it, but also I think it would kind of be associated with my treatment in that time of my life, whereas now, since I got it post treatment, I'm able to really feel like it's a fresh start completely, and yeah, a step towards normalcy, which feels good.
So did you have anybody walking you through hair loss? Do you feel like there is enough out there to help people?
You think you know because of like the TV shows, the movies you've seen, or just, I don't know, commercials and stuff. Like you think you know, and then when you experience it, you just have to throw away everything you thought you knew about treatment. In the movies, it feels very like this is what's gonna happen. Or commercials, you're like, we all know like what we think is going to happen or what we think it looks like. And then when you are diagnosed and you talk to your doctors, they're very much so like, well, you could gain 20 pounds or you could lose 20 pounds. You could, like, it's very, they can't predict anything. And I just find it so bizarre that the media and in TV and stuff and movies, we have a very kind of distinct image and understanding of what chemo looks like or what it's supposed to look like, when in reality, everyone's experience is so wildly different that even the doctors are weary about saying this is what to expect because there's so many possibilities of what your reaction will be to the different drugs you're on that like they can warn you about. And a lot of they can warn you about one thing, but there's 20 other options of like side effects you can get. The experience is very much like take it day by day, and I know it's so cliche, but for me, it was just day by day. Almost every day, it was a new side effect or experience or a new like obstacle I had to go through. But I would go through it when it came. Like I wasn't worried about my hair falling out, and then once my hair started falling out, I went right to the hair salon and had it buzz, you know? I wasn't kind of getting nervous about what was to come because not only was my plate full with what I was already dealing with, but also there's no sense in getting worried about potential symptoms or side effects that might not even ever happen, you know? So, and then these crazy side effects that are never really mentioned with chemo are the things I experienced, like mouth ulcers, didn't know about that, or neuropathy, like my fingers are still numb and my feet were so numb to a point where I couldn't walk because I couldn't like get my gripping. I never heard of that with cancer. And I know my grandmother had cancer when I was young and she went through chemo, and still like her experience, I didn't throw up once. And meanwhile, so much of the time I spent in the doctors was asking about my nausea, asking about vomiting, giving me so many medications in case I felt nauseous or in case I felt sick. And meanwhile, not once was that my experience, even though that's what I was expecting. And the doctors were kind of expecting it to happen. So when it came to hair loss, no one really told me. I think the doctors don't want to scare you because everyone is different, so they don't want you to be worried about something that might not happen. So no one really told me what to expect, and I kind of just would wake up and make my own calls. They told me like in 2 to 3 weeks it would start falling out. I remember I asked about like my eyebrows and my eyelashes, and my doctor was really wishy-washy about it. Like, I remember he said something like, well, my mom had lymphoma, she lost hers, but you know, that doesn't mean you're gonna lose yours too, you know? And then obviously a week later, not even the 2 weeks, my eyelashes, eyebrows are falling out, all my body hair, and then my hair started falling out in clumps. So I made the call to just have it buzzed. Yeah, so there's not really a lot, and I think there are like support groups and online forums and all of those things that you can kind of find out expectations for hair loss or like how to best handle it. But I was very uninvolved with those type of things throughout my treatment, just because every chance I got to have a sense of normalcy, I took it, and I didn't want to kind of I didn't have a lot of free time. I was in the hospital so much, and I didn't want to spend the time that I was home on online forums thinking about cancer again, talking about cancer again, researching. I was like, when I come home, I want to be Morgan again. When I'm in the hospital, I get it, I'm a patient, they take blood, they do all these tests nonstop, but when I'm home, I don't want to think about it anymore. There's so much to think about. So yeah, I'm sure if you wanted to do research, you could find a lot of help with that sort of thing, but my approach was always just take it one step at a time, I'll handle it when it comes to me.
Also, like, your answers they're really like advice for people. Like, I love it. Like, I was gonna ask you like, what's your advice question, but like, you're covering it all throughout this whole video. Like, this is gonna help so many people.
Take it day by day, seriously, because who knows how they're gonna react. I mean, I feel lucky that I reacted. I like typically am very dramatic and very like I get shook or like nervous very easily, and for some reason I think as like a survival tactic I just really took it down an octave and just kind of went through it day by day. It had to happen regardless, right? When I first got diagnosed, they were like, treatment is going to be 6 months, so I knew that the next 6 months were going to be that, and so there's nothing I could do to change it. And being upset felt kind of like a waste of time, because being upset isn't going to make me healthier again. Being upset isn't going to make this go away. Being worried isn't going to make me healthier. Being worried it won't make it go away. So I kind of just lived as normal as possible for as long as I could, and anything that would come up, I would just deal with it in that moment, because a million things could happen in this time. That's why you get so many tests done, and the result, every single week it feels like I'm waiting on results for something else, and you never know what the result is going to be, and it can go like one of many ways. So why even get anxious about said result when you don't even know what's to come yet, you know? Just one step at a time. And yeah.
We always say that like looking good and feeling good is related. Like, how do you feel that? Like, now that you're in your next stage, like you're finally getting ready back to
well, in the beginning, the night before I was discharged from the hospital after my first day, after I was diagnosed, I was in the hospital for 15 days. So I was diagnosed, did a bunch of tests, and then also started my first round of chemo. And the night before I was discharged, my friends came to visit me, and the nurses and all my doctors were super awesome about it, because we've been planning this for like a week. My friend had shirts made, like literally made custom shirts to do a photo shoot in the hospital, like hooked up to the chemo and all. I spent all day, my doctors were meeting me all day that day, and they would show up to talk to me, and I would be wearing a face mask, and they'd be like, are you okay? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go for the photo shoot. Do you not know about the photo shoot? Everyone knows about the photo shoot. And I had music playing all day, doing my own hair and makeup. It was a whole production, lighting, everything. My nurses were awesome, and they had me, it was available, so they had me move to a room that didn't have a roommate so that we can play music and do this whole photo shoot without disturbing anyone else. And I was also making such a big deal out of it that I think they were just like, to get her to shut up, let's just throw her in the corner room, no one's in there, like, whatever. So, and we did like for hours, took these pictures to to announce, I guess, that I had cancer, because the whole 15 days I was there, I didn't tell anyone about it. I did a photo shoot to announce that I had cancer, just because the 15 days I spent in the hospital, every day I was getting new information, and I didn't want to really say anything until I knew for sure what was going on. So I announced on Instagram and to like pretty much everyone I know that I have cancer by just releasing this giant photo shoot that my friends and I did. I can actually show you this shirt, it's really cool. I'll show you one of the shirts. I know doing a photo shoot to announce that you have cancer is like the most Leo thing ever. And I'm a Leo, my birthday's July 29th. So we had shirts made that say, I may be a Leo, but I have cancer. So it was pretty iconic, and I wore this shirt. Yeah, so I posted a bunch of pictures from the photo shoot of me wearing this shirt. And that's how I told everyone that I had cancer. So yeah, obviously that's an example of how looking good and feeling good kind of makes this whole process way easier. I think I was able to just have a laugh and be silly with my friends, despite the situation being very grave and sad almost. We kind of were able to make it fun in whatever way we could, right? Like I was gonna be in that position anyway, why not have some fun with it and do a ridiculous photo shoot and have an excuse to do my nails and my makeup and all that stuff. So yeah, so at the beginning I was feeling great because I felt good and looked good, and me and my friends were finding every opportunity possible to have fun and look great while doing it despite what was going on in my life. And then as treatment went on, my weight was fluctuating. I obviously lost all my hair. My blood platelets would get really low, so I started having very dark circles around my eyes. I just was not feeling myself. And since then, I kind of been really struggling with the fact that I don't feel completely myself again, but things like having this wig and getting to wear normal clothes again because I'm not in sweats anymore in the hospital have been really helpful in getting there. I know it's not an overnight thing. I think I had wishful thinking that I would finish chemo and then a week later I'd be back to my old self, fitting in all my clothes, looking amazing, you know, glowing, all these things, and then I'm realizing now that it's a slow road back to complete normalcy. So every chance I get to achieve that, like having this wig or getting dressed up once in a while, is really helpful. Yeah, I was really disappointed that it wasn't like an overnight thing, but that's what makeup is for, that's what wigs are for, and that's what the perfect fun little outfits are for. And I know that in time this could be my new normal, or I'll get closer and closer to what my idea of normal looks like. But until then, I'm really grateful for the little tools I have to be there for me in the meantime until I'm like back to my old self. So I'm really grateful, because some days I wake up and it just feels like, am I ever gonna look at myself in the mirror again and see Morgan and not like a cancer patient? And I'm just really grateful that I have this wig now, which is obviously really helpful, not looking at yourself in the mirror bald, you know? And yeah, I know that soon one day I'll look in the mirror and feel like myself and that this is me. I just see this as time and a process, just like the whole thing has been from day one. And we'll get there. It is a transition for sure, and it's a slow one, but it's a transition. That means there's an end goal. We're not stuck here. It's not permanent. It's temporary, and I just know in the future I'll look back on this and I'm sure I'll have learned something. Don't know what it is yet. If anyone knows, please reach out and let me know what you think it is.
I think it's to stay positive.
Yeah, for sure, and take it day by day. Even now that, you know, there's being diagnosed, and then there's chemo, and then there's post-chemo, which I feel like, if anything, is the weirdest thing to kind of go through, because you feel like you're supposed to be your old self again, because you're not technically a cancer patient anymore, you're not doing treatment, so why am I still feeling not like myself, right? So that's the weirdest kind of stage of this to go through. At least when I was diagnosed and I was doing treatment, I was like, you could like kind of pin the fault on something, like that's the reason why I'm not feeling like myself. Whereas now it's kind of harder because you're just like, well, there's nothing stopping me. But again, you just have to be patient with yourself and give yourself permission to take it easy and get there eventually when you're ready.
I also think that, from our experience and, working with people that have cancer, it's like a life-changing experience. So it's kind of like you're like a new person after.
No, and you're also literally a new person, because at least what I did, the chemo and the cocktail they gave me for that kills all the cells in your body. That's why you lose your hair and stuff, because it's just killing your hair follicles and all your cells. So basically at the end of it, you are like literally a new person, because all of your old cells have been killed by the chemo, and then it regenerates brand new cells. So like I feel like you're literally and physically and also metaphorically a brand new person, which is why the whole like return to normalcy thing is a bit strange to even call it that, because I don't think I'll ever return to what I once was, and I'm okay with that. I see it as an opportunity to use as an opportunity to just be who I always wanted to be and kind of go for it. And you have a lot of time to think when you're in treatment, and I just think I'm really excited to use this as a way to kind of jump into the next chapter, because there's not really any going back, right? And nor do I want to. So the new normal, I guess, returning to my new normal.
Okay, any last closing words?
Thank you guys. I love you so much. Seriously. You've been so patient with me. This whole experience, I understand, has not been easy, just because I was in and out of the hospital, not answering phone calls, really ill. You guys are super busy doing the great work that you do, and it was really hard, I'm sure, to fit me into your schedule and find time. And I was also always late, and I can't even blame the cancer for that. I'm just always late, and that's okay. But I really do appreciate you guys working with me, and I don't know if I didn't have this to look forward to the whole time during treatment, and if I didn't have, even before I had the wig, I had the security that I will have a wig, and I don't know how I would feel without, forget the wig, like physically, I don't know what I would feel without the sense of security that working with you guys brought me, knowing that at the end of this, I'll be okay, and I'll have this wig, and I'll have a sense of getting back to myself again. If I didn't have this chance, I don't know how I would feel during this transitional period. I don't know how I would have felt. I'm sure I would have been a lot more anxious during treatment, because I would have been, worried about what to do once I'm done. And you guys took care of all of that for me, and I really just had to show up